panting is going to be the first sign that they're at least hot. But if it's excessive panting and they're slowing down and having more drool than usual, I think that's when I would really be like, hey, buddy, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
And then the next thing I would do is reach up and feel those armpits. And if we're just feeling too hot, we should probably check.
Yeah. And another thing that some people might notice on, like if they're going for a walk, is the dog wants to go from shade to shade.
Yes.
And then he just wants to stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. That means it's time to get him inside.
Absolutely. Yep.
What should people do once they're inside?
Cool water, let them lay on the cool tile. If you can check their temperature, that's amazing. But if you have questions, call your vet and we'll help you work through whether or not he should be seen or not.
And if they're not getting back to their normal self, I would say probably within 5 minutes, then they probably need to be checked out.
Yeah. I would say the first thing is know if your dog is prone to it. And that's going to be if he or she is obese. If they are any breed with a squished nose or you've had any issues with this in the past, you really need to be avoiding that hot midday and stick with the mornings and evenings. That's the first thing.
And know your dog. You know, there are some that will chase the ball as long as you throw it. You have to be the responsible one in that situation.
Right.
And know that they're going to meet their limit and they're not going to know it and they're going to keep going. Yeah. So you need to be the one to say, okay, buddy, you need to take a break and let's go in for a little bit before we get going.
That's your dog.
That is my dog. That's why I know that very personally.
Absolutely.
If you don't want to walk barefoot on the concrete, neither do they. Yeah.
What happens if their paws get on the heat? What have you seen before?
I saw one. It was, which we'll talk about in a little bit, 4th of July. This was probably 2 or 3 years ago. It's a little Shiba Inu. 4th of July happened, terrified, breaks out of the house and goes running around the neighborhood for the next 24 hours before they found her and they brought her to me, and she had blistered all of her little pads off and needed to be on antibiotics and pain medication because she didn't know any better. She just knew she was terrified and just kept running. So,
I've seen it too.
Yeah, let's talk about 4th of July. What should people know heading into the weekend?
Again, your pet's personality. Are they afraid of fireworks? Is this something that's hard for them? Should you be calling your veterinarian a couple of days to a week ahead of time to think about some sedatives? Yeah, that's going to be a big part. And if your pet's new to you, you may not know their personality. Let's take all the safety precautions to make sure they're inside and secure.
Some pets may also benefit if their people will play them 4th of July fireworks sounds before the event so that you can get an idea on how they might react and get a good idea and maybe get them used to it. Perhaps, start with a low volume and work your way up and see what they do. That may help them on the real night.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
And on the night of 4th of July, when you say keep your pets sort of safe and indoors, what does that look like? For cats and dogs.
Yeah, indoors is the first part. Sometimes people feel that they're safe in their backyard. But they can definitely get through and over a fence, especially since all of ours are wood slatted here. Indoors is going to be the biggest part. And then maybe even the center part of the house, if you have that availability with doors closed.
Take them out on a leash. And then think about it too. Maybe take them outside to go potty before dark so that you're not taking them out when all the noise is happening as well. So it'll be safer.
Yeah, and the sky's lighting up. That's not the good time to go out to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Why do fireworks affect dogs and cats so much?
The sky's falling.
The sky's falling. That's what I think too. And the sounds sound like they come from every which direction. And it's definitely big, scary sounds that I think you're wired to avoid those situations. So until you're comfortable with it and you know your family is comfortable with it, it's scary for them.
Yeah. We learn from childhood that it's all fine.
Yeah.
You can't reason a dog and be like, no, this is part of our tradition. They don't get it.
Yeah.
Good monthly prevention is step one. Talk to your vet and put them on monthly flea and tick prevention and heartworm prevention is the biggest, most important part of that you can do. And of course, know where you're going. Are you going places that are prone to, are you going camping or running the trails? There's going to be more ticks out there. Make sure your preventions are covering the activities that you do with your pets.
Absolutely. So, all pets should be on heartworm prevention because the mosquitoes go everywhere, especially here. I found one in my fridge once. So what do you do about that, right? So really our pets should all be on heartworm prevention. Summer traveling is the best.
Yes, and it just can be complicated depending on how you're traveling, where you're traveling to. You may need your vet's help to get there. Anytime you got to take a flight with your pet, they're going to probably need a health certificate, at minimum a rabies vaccine. Any international travel, call your vet a month before you know you're traveling, please.
Many months. Yeah.
So that we can work on getting you there successfully.
Absolutely.
So,
and if you're thinking about road tripping, think about where you're going. Are you going to be able to be with your pet 24 hours a day? Because when you're traveling, you can't leave them. You can't stay in the hotel and go to the restaurant. So, and is your pet prepared for that? Are they good on the patios? Do they like car rides and traveling? If you know that their personality is all game for it, do you need sedatives for the car ride? Let us know ahead of time so we can help you out.
And if they're not good for all of those things, find them a place to stay.
Yeah.
There's boarding facilities. Our house has two in the Austin area that could take care of them. There's also options where people can come to their home. Maybe they don't like boarding. Maybe they're a stay-at-home kind of dog, and that's okay. Or their cat, and you don't plan on taking them. Have a trusted friend come over and stay with them.
Yep. My favorite place to take my dogs is my neighborhood. We have a beautiful trail all around our neighborhood with a pond, and we like to go for those long walks and just see everybody else out and about.
Yeah.
My cats would love it if I took them out. At least one of them would. The other one, no way. But I really don't take them out. At the most, I have a harness trained kitty, and I will take her into my backyard on her harness. But I really don't take her out and about, except when she comes here for her arthritis injections.
She loves coming here.
She does, every time.
For me, I would say that my dog and I frequent coffee shops and breweries, and we do a lot of training at local facilities. There's a lot of good places here that do. There's dock diving in the area. There's agility training. There's scent training. At least for dog activities, there's a lot of activities in the Austin area that you can be a part of and meet some really cool people and some really cool dogs.
You can slowly build your pet up to being tolerant to being on a harness and a leash. I cringe every time I see those videos of the cats freaking out with the harness on their back because that's far too much for them and they're very, very afraid. So start with just very slowly putting it on them and take it off right away, and lots of treats and rewards, and build up as they tolerate it. The biggest thing is just that individual's personality. Some cats are just not game for that. Some are all in, let's go explore. So time and patience, I think, is the answer to that. Oh man, it just makes me worry so much that I truly avoid it.
I do too. It's just so dangerous. You don't want to mess with it. And if you, let's say they get away from you and they jump in the water, immediately give them a bath, wash them down, and then keep a close eye on them. But I would just avoid it. And then there's some resources that can help with that too.
City of Austin keeps a resource on the blue-green algae in the area. You can find that on the resource page of our websites too.
What happens if they eat it or it gets on their skin?
You know, it's highly deadly. It's a neurologic thing, so they have seizures pretty quickly, and it's
within hours.
Yeah.
They get sick quickly.
It's bad.
Take it seriously.
Yeah, very serious.